Hey, good morning.
Hey Eric, welcome.
Hello, everybody. We're just letting people in. Hey, Kelly.
Hello, I'm here. I'm just off screen for a tiny bit and then I'll be on full.
That's cool. Thanks. Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks for checking in. Yeah.
Cool. Should we give another few minutes, Chris?
I think let's just go. Let's just
Go.
go.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're gonna jump in. So welcome to the call, everyone. This is our third, I believe, our third accomplished Misfits uh gathering. So welcome. Yeah. Let's let's start off with bringing ourselves in the room. What is one, I don't know, let's speak about how you're feeling in this moment. Let's be real in this moment around how you are feeling. And I'll go first. um I'm feeling, number one, excited to be here, and number two, a little bit nervous because I'm gonna talk about, invite you to our next call, and we don't yet have a topic. We have a date and time, but we don't have a topic yet. So I'm feeling a little bit of nerves in my body, a little bit of energy around uh, not having that ready. So that's how I'm feeling. Who's
I'll go
next?
next. I'll go next. So, before you opened the doors, I was feeling very discombobulated. But then once we started, something kind of took over, and I'm feeling a little more grounded, a little more settled in this moment. And I'm loving Shermain, the fact that you recognized we're a little messy because in the 10 seconds before we open the doors, we're like, hey, we need a topic for the next call. And then we're like, okay, let's just be a little messy around that. And so
Yeah.
I'm loving that. Like that actually energizes me, the fact that uh you specifically spoke it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And what's top of my mind right now is I was thinking like, oh, let's talk about being real. Like that,
Yeah.
let's let that be the conversation, something connected to that. And
Mm.
uh so that's where we are right
Yeah.
now. So thanks, Chris. Hey, Kelly, you are muted right now. What we're talking about is just bringing in whatever is, however you're feeling in this moment right now. And that's what we're talking through.
Do you want to hear how I'm feeling? Is that an
Yes.
invitation?
That is an invitation.
I feel good. I feel excited. I feel um, empowered by some of the stuff you guys are putting out lately.
Awesome. Well,
Thank
glad
you.
to hear. Thank you. Yes. Hey, Eric, I see you're on.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll be on camera in a bit. I gotta get home. I'm on the road.
Sounds good.
Um, However, how do I feel? Yeah, I would say this morning I feel calm, you know. Life is good. I feel blessed, people in my life are good. I'm feeling good. And so, yeah, there's a certain sort of, I guess, as you asked that question, Charmaine, there's just a feeling of calmness right now.
Mm, love it.
Thank
Feeling.
you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Today, today our theme for today's call is facing your fears. And something I was thinking about is, oh, how do I open up this call? Um, and I was thinking of, oh, you know what, Charmaine, why don't you share one of your fears that you faced? And then I was thinking about some of my journey and some of the things I've been through, and then I thought, what would be even scarier? And that would be to face something like to speak about a fear that I haven't spoken about. It's not polished. Um, it's not polished, it's not rehearsed. And so I'm gonna bring that in right now. A fear, uh Chris and I are collaborating on an event in Toronto, and we've been through this journey. Um, one of the things we call is Sage Quest. Sage Quest is the the wise men coming up off of the mountain and coming down to where the people are, getting out of their castles and their, their houses, and coming down off the mountain. And that's been an inspiration for Toronto. And a fear that I have is that although we have a theme for the 3 days of expansion that we're creating, we've chosen our dates, we have an amazing space that's going to be there. There's this fear in back of my mind that, number one, we may not be able to fill it. Number two, that it won't be this like amazing experience, and it won't like just change lives, that it won't have the ripple effects that I would love it to have. And I want it to be real in that moment. That's a fear that I have, that I'm facing, and I wanted to bring that in.
Thank you, Shermain. Thank you for modeling to me that there's a distinction between past fears and then current, right? So there's the challenges of your story, the overcoming, the vanquishing, the and then there's I'm in the middle of this. Like this is real. I'm in the middle of it, and I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and uh, so I appreciate you demonstrating what the second one
Mm.
can look like. Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
by
Thank you
making it
for
real.
sharing that. Like, I didn't even
Yeah,
think about like the sort of the past fears that I've already gone over that hurdle. I've passed
yeah,
that. I'm through that, and then the
yeah,
current ones in the moment. Yeah. Thank you for
yeah,
that. Mm.
yeah. All right, I'll go next. So, uh, okay, in the spirit of a current fear, um, I have a fear right now in this moment that I so greatly want every Zoom that I'm a part of, hosting, participant in, to be fucking awesome. I want people to always walk away, minds blown and insights and like inspired. So the fear I have right now is I feel like I'm starting this call today, this particular call, in a more messy place. So, and my fear is, what if I don't blow everyone's minds? What if this is less than fucking awesome? I can't be more real than that. So,
Yeah, I feel you, Chris. Thank you for
yeah,
being real. I was thinking about Chris the DJ for a second, and being on that stage and having control over everything and the music, and you get to choose what you like, and so you play what you like, and knowing that that's going to move the crowd. And in this moment, it's the opposite. Not sure.
I, yeah, like well, we were talking about this before we people started arriving, but um, I am collaborating with you. My collaboration with you is an X factor. So uh, you stepped forward at my request to lead this particular call, um, and I don't know what you're going to say. And, like, so there's a loss of control there, and um, which is different than as a DJ. I had 100% control. I have all decision making. I I um, everyone's gathered because of something I created. I had a vision, I executed on it, and it all comes down to a moment. And my fear, and this is interesting because obviously we're getting super meta today. You know what I mean? So it's like um uh the it's around fear, and for me there's a fear of loss of control, like giving up control, collaborating with someone and we don't share a mind,
Mm-hmm.
we can talk and we have shared values and everything, and Uh, and normally, and normally we don't say these things aloud either.
Yes.
Hey, Chris, if I may, and maybe this is
Yes,
getting very meta. However, something came to me when you said all
please,
that.
bring it. Yeah, bring it. Yeah,
And as a former DJ, I can
yeah.
appreciate this. I guess something that you probably already know and might even not know that could maybe change your perspective is the fact that you never had control. So, meaning, I know it's a fear, so I respect your fear. So, I appreciate your honesty of it being a fear. However, the realization I've come to and in all my life is that anything I create and or want to influence others with, such as what you're doing here, I never had control, right? And I never will, because the perspective that people will gain or insights that they'll take away from all your Zooms or when you DJ, right, is they may never get off the floor. They may never get on the floor. You may play the best mix ever and nobody will dance. Yeah, you might play the most boring mix ever to you and everyone packed the floor, right? So that's my peace and my calmness that I've had in life is anything I do or influence, I never had control. I can
Thank you
only
for
bring,
that.
yeah, I can only
Yeah,
bring my best self, right? And then everything else falls into
yeah.
place.
What your comments reminded me of is a truth that I have, which is it's around clarity. People, we all seek clarity. We want clarity for the future, and that's an illusion. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen an hour from now. And I'm connecting that with what you just said. Yeah, I believed I had control, and maybe I didn't as much as I thought I did.
Well, I appreciated your share of the fear though, because the fear is
Yeah.
real, right? Because I
Yes. Yeah.
too, I too have that same fear whenever I'm gonna present something myself, or
Yeah.
yeah, when I used to DJ, same thing. Is anybody even gonna like this, mix,
Yeah.
etc. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, do you mind speaking more about fears you face or have faced or
Sure,
fear now or yeah.
sure. Let's see. I fear. Well, I want to get too general in the sense of like humanity always saying, I don't know what's going to happen to this, or I don't know what's going to happen with that. Because to your point, right, Chris, you just said it like we don't know what's going to happen in an
Yeah.
hour from now, right?
Yeah.
So I'll push aside those fears. I
Yeah,
think,
bring it to yourself, like you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think for me, and Shermain knows this in a sense of what I've been wanting to create more and more is I have a new fear that Shermain's probably going to hear for the first time now. I have a fear of the things I say I'm gonna do, I don't do them. So, like, meaning, or even like running out of, well, no, no, no. I don't have a fear of running out of time because I already have a peace with time in a sense that it's just never going to stop. And so it's for me, it's more instead of time, it's priority. So for me, I have a fear, Chris, of almost like not doing what I say I'm going to do because I've been doing that. And so I know I don't want to talk about past fear. It's still a fear today, right? Like I'm not keeping my word with self with things that I want to create and accomplish. And Tremaine knows a lot of those things that I've been working on and wanting to create. I'm a music producer, just to kind of interject some of my creativeness into this. So yeah, that's probably my thing right now.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing
Thanks for
that.
thanks for speaking it. Thanks for the vulnerability and saying it for the first time you said, right?
Yeah, because that's been a new fear. I had other fears in the past with other calls of like, if people aren't going to like me and, that kind of thing. Is it going to be good enough? Am I good enough? I related to Charmaine sharing his fear of like will people even show up, right? Is it going to
Hmm.
be great with your fear, right, Chris? Is it even going to be
Yeah.
amazing? I've gotten all past that with that whole share that I did of, letting go of control. So now
Yeah.
it's more, am I even going to just show up? That's my fear. Is Eric even going to continue to show up, or am I going to just let time take over as it already does, yet not prioritize what I want to do?
Mm.
I want to celebrate you, Eric, because it's the most difficult time to say something is the first time.
Mm,
And you're so yeah, when you're referencing past things you've shared in the past, it would be easier for you today just to repeat them because you've already said them. So you're being extremely real in this moment, speaking this thing for the first time. So I really want to celebrate that.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, it's a realization that I've had a lot more lately. It's like, wait, Eric, you're not afraid of people not liking, say, your music, or, not showing up because said you were going to pack a house. Like, I'm not afraid of that anymore. Now it's, Eric, are you even going to do what you want? Are you even going to do what you say you're going to do to others? And so
Mm,
that's become the more, and time isn't even a fear anymore either. Like, oh, I'm not going to have enough time. Like, well, no, I don't have control over that anyway. So it doesn't matter. It's more, am I even going to continue to show up now? Because that's where I'm at, right? I'm more grounded in like today and today only. So
thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Eric. I was thinking about, like, I wonder, I'm curious about like what's underneath that. What's the story of like, oh, I'm not keeping word to self. I'm not keeping my word. I'm not like, is there a story underneath that? Like, if I show up and actually keep my word to myself, then this thing is going to happen, which really scares me, or something. Is
oh
that
yeah.
Eric?
You're right about that, Shermain. Thank you for that. Because yes, if there's one experience I've had of myself, and I'll paraphrase in a sense of I've done some personal development in the past as well, for those that don't know. And Shermain's familiar with some of it. And one thing I learned in that journey, and I'm still learning to this day, is that when I commit, stuff happens.
Yep.
So meaning in my life, right? So like if I, for example, just commit today to like, I'm gonna go run 5 miles, even though I've never really trained to run 5 miles, if I commit to it, I guarantee you I could message this group back and say, guys, I did it. I actually ran the 5 miles. And it's because of the mind decision. And I actually related to, I think it was last week's call where someone was kind of talking about that and how you sort of decide first and then all of a sudden, right, your reality becomes real. And so, Charmaine, when you said, is there something underneath that? Yeah, I believe there is. I think it's like if I commit, I have to actually then, and I've sort of learned this perspective too. When we say yes to one thing, we're actually saying no to other things, right?
Right.
And I think for me, Charmaine, you're right. There is an underlying fear of, well, then I got to say no to some of the things that I like right now. And so it's like, yeah, I think I'm probably afraid of that, Charmaine. I'm holding on to like what I have, even if it's just a habit or a routine or whatever. And then I'm not wanting to say yes to what I really want to create because that's going to replace, like, I don't know, let's say it's Friday night, whatever I do on Friday night, right? Today. I'm gonna have to give that up, right? So like there's that fear. Yeah, I think you're right. It's like, because I know if I commit, Charmaine, well, I guarantee you I'm gonna make it, right? Like
Yeah.
music's gonna happen.
Yep.
I'm gonna be updating you with like
Yep.
opportunity after opportunity that's like, oh, you never believe what happened, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
there's that right there. It's like I know my experience of myself that if I say yes to it for real in my mind,
Yep.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I believe that. Complete, and I have proof. I've experienced. I've been to some of your events that you've put together
Nice.
with some amazing
Yes.
artists, and
Yes.
yeah, man, I believe in you, and I
Mm,
Yeah.
agree. When you fully
mm.
commit, man, it's going to be a sight to see.
Yeah. Thank you.
Eric,
I appreciate it. Oh, go ahead. I just want to say I appreciate that, Shemaine, because yeah, you make it seem you made it kind of come out. I realize now, like, oh man, that is probably what I'm afraid of.
yeah. Uh, Eric, what I wanted to add is today's the first time we've met, I believe. Um,
Last week I just couldn't be on video. Yeah,
okay,
however,
so this
yes,
is the
yeah,
first
yeah,
conversation, this is the first
yeah,
interaction. So,
yeah.
um, I want to share how I'm connecting with what you've shared today, and you can tell me whether it's resonating or not. What I'm connecting with what you've said today is the fear is actually about falling out of integrity with yourself, like and basically the fear. So when I was doing a little bit of journaling before this call today, and I was asking myself like, why am I on this call? And the first thing on my list is because I said I would. I told Sherman I'd be here. So and that's why, like, that's not the only reason I'm here, but integrity is very important to me, right? So, and so I'm hearing a bit of fear of that.
Yes, yeah, that is correct, Chris.
Yeah.
And that's been a big thing that I've realized in this journey, right? Especially the more like the last, say, 5 or 6 years of, more diving into my own development of person and self is, yeah, I am a very high integrity person as well. And so, yes, and it stems from um, really a childhood of honestly just experience of letdown, meaning
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
said they would do something, right, and they
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
and so it's like I grew up thinking, man, why didn't they just say or do what they were gonna, say, or do what they said? And so I told myself as I started to mature, like, I want to be a person that, like,
Yeah.
doesn't do that, right? If I say I'm going to be there, I'll be there. If I say I'm going to do this, I'll do it, and
It's
so
as
and
good
then
as done.
right, and
Yeah.
there's been some growth in that too, Chris, of like I've now learned to it's okay to say no. And Charmaine's helped me with this journey because he's had some good talks on this of like it's okay to say no to others because you're not committed. So I keep saying no now, circling back to the fear of
Mm.
not doing what I say. I keep saying no to like the music stuff because I know like once I am actually fully in, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. Like, there's no getting out of it, you know?
Mm. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
I'd love to open it up. So Erica spoke about like his fear. Kelly spoke about hers. Are there any insights or thoughts as
Kelly
you?
hasn't shared. Kelly, come into the
Oh,
deep water with us.
oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm happy to dive in. I hate to leave you
Yeah.
guys stranded there alone without company,
Yeah. Yeah. What's your fear, Kelly?
And hello everyone. It's just an honor to be here always. Shermain, we don't really know each other, but through the Rich Litvin community,
Yep,
I've seen you be coached by someone, etc. So I have
yep.
lots of respect and regard. And nice to meet you, Eric and Dominique. Is that right? Am I pronouncing that right? As well. And Chris, I've been following you for a little while. So what brought me here today is this conversation at the impossible to possible invention edge. I think that's the thing that keeps bringing me back to whatever you guys are doing periodically. Um, and I want to report that since you guys have started putting out this idea, it sits with me, and I have taken multiple steps into the courageous, like unknown, due to this space being out there that people do this.
Mm.
I'm working towards a proposal for a CEO. I've never done that before. And to your point, Chris, where you said fear of falling out of integrity with yourself, it's this process of being scared of inventing something I don't want to do. I'm super creative and I can come up with a zillion ideas, but I don't actually really want to do a lot of them. And I can overpromise, and then suddenly I
Mm,
don't enjoy what I've committed to doing. So sort of the other side of yours, Eric, is like, yeah, I could do it, but like it's not fun and it's not energizing. So I'm out of integrity with my strengths. Just because I can think it and invent it doesn't mean I should actually execute it. And so I'm still sitting in that because I was successful. I got a CEO. Like I only booked half an hour, and I went back to we actually need an hour and a half. I got the hour and a half. Like, oh my God, I got the hour and a half. And I was so scared. My nervous system was freaking out, and I caught it and put like people in place to do role plays before I had this hour and a half meeting. And I had the meeting and it went really well. It's like so I
All
just so
right.
you know, like
Woo.
I'm out there like going, well, Chris does it, so I'll just keep trying to do it. So I really like what you're saying there. Everything you said so far. So that's my still very present. And I have just today wrote out a commitment that I will do an art show a year from now, which is in the park. This word art I do, I'm about to level up a whole. I have a really big plan. I've never thought so wide and deep about what it could be, and I've committed that I will do this a year from now. And all the fear of like, just the Eric type. Oh my God, said I'd do this. I think it's important. I should do it, but like I'm gonna have to like a lot between now and then to do it. So
Mm,
there's my
awesome.
leading edge in the moment creative fears. Yeah.
Hmm. One of the things I love, Kelly, about what you just said is around doing doing these things, committing to doing things that are not energizing to you, and wanting to do things that are energizing to you, and sort of this battle of like, I can do anything. Like the what I heard, the energy was, I can do anything that I want to do, that I put my mind to do, I can do it. And I want to do things that energize me. I want to do things that move the needle. That's what I'm hearing, Kelly. Is that right?
I think pretty much, although I can tell you part of the fear is I have committed to things if the energy is not there and discovered I can't do them
Hmm.
because the energy is not there. So
Ah,
it's a bit
good.
scarier, and I end up living in quite a place of anxiety. And it's kind of coming out of my corporate work where I kind of have to do
Yeah.
certain things. So I actually have the freedom not to slip into that.
Oh, awesome.
Um, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
I have something to speak to that point, Kelly. Uh, I have learned for myself when the answer should have been no, the no is going to find a way to leak out of me.
yeah,
And it's going to make the experience so awful.
I know.
Yeah,
It
Chris,
does though, Kelly.
yeah,
Eric, yeah,
if I may, I learned that same thing as well,
yeah,
Kelly. If it's and it's op what's it's the same play of what you said, Chris. If it's not a hell
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
then it's a no, right? Because your energy, to your point, Kelly, right? Like you shared, right? Your energy just wasn't in it, so you're not. Yeah,
I think that points to this whole idea of collaboration that you guys were saying earlier with your fears too, is that what I've learned is if you are in your own alignment about what jazzes you as you go into a collaboration, the no will leak in the collaboration. So what Shermain wants out of it and what Chris wants out of it are distinct. And if you are each able to contribute to each other to get that thing for yourselves individually, then you get the synergy of the
Yep.
collaboration. It's not the other way around of like making everybody else feel good
Yes.
and hope you get what you want out of it. It's from the inside
Yeah.
out.
Kelly, I love what you're saying, because that's actually what Chris and I did. We sat down and said, "Well, what excites us about this? What do we want to get out of this? What's important to us?" And we aligned on what those things were for us, for us as individuals, and we're moving from that energy. So I love what you're saying.
And Shermain will add, we are practicing being as vulnerable as possible with each other about where this is not like I'm feeling low energy, uh, so even this call, like I'm being as real as possible because I don't want to be feeling like I gotta like force myself to do anything, right? And what is the source of the energy leak? And the irony is, I feel much more energized now in this call. Like all the energy leaking was before the call. Because I was willing to just kind of go there. It's been energizing for me. I can report now that we're halfway through.
Well, I want to say somebody said earlier, like, fear is real. I would actually challenge that and say fear is an illusion. Clarity is an illusion. Fear is an illusion most of the time. Most of the time, we're afraid of death, and anything else is a subset of that fundamental fear of
Yeah,
dying.
yeah.
And it was like
I
that was
love that. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
go ahead, jump in. That's fine.
No, I was just saying, an acronym I've learned from others is fake evidence appearing real.
Nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like.
yeah.
Um, and uh, part of what motivated me to this topic about facing fears, and facing fears is my language. Charmaine likes to talk about courage. So and
That's right.
there's two. It's interesting because
Thanks.
both of us have different flavors of things that mean a lot to us. So but I can see where my language shows up versus like Charmaine was talking about next call being about truth, and I talked about it being messy. So today we're talking about fears. The original idea was around courage, and all of us are demonstrating courage right now as we're being willing to speak and share these things that scare us. Um, and everything great in my life has happened because I was willing to do the thing that scared me. To your point, Kelly, fear is not real, and we treat it as if it is real. And once we're willing to just blow that door open, I mean, a lot of amazing things can happen.
Yeah, if I were to tease out what you just said,
Please.
the fear
Yeah.
is distinct from the courage. The fear, when you said, when I choose to work through the fear, you move from fear
Yep.
to courage.
I would agree. Yep. Yep. Overcoming is a word I like to use a lot. It's key in all of my stories. So whenever I share stories, they're about that transition you're just talking about, Kelly, of when I overcame the fear into courage, right? So it's always about finding those moments. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Uh, Dom, you're up next.
Yeah.
What's a current fear you have? Welcome,
Um, th-
by the way.
oh, thank you, and I apologize for being late. Um, I'm gonna put this in language that Shermain could relate to. And when I say this, since Chris, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your language yet, but um, I'm afraid to be seen in publicly. I'm afraid of that public face that I need to put on, to step on stage, to step out in social media, to step behind the camera, get out in front, like how I'm talking to you guys, this nice small forum, but be able to do that, in a more widespread public forum. And that's something that yeah, that's the Shermain language for you. I think he could
Mm.
resonate with that.
Yeah.
Dom, can you, because you were on the last call, I'd like to use one of my techniques with you right now in this
Yeah.
moment, which is, can you make it real? And let's talk about a specific moment, like of when that was true.
A specific moment of when that was true. I mean, it's true almost all the time, but so recently, I needed to do some commercials, some advertisements for my business. Just talking about what I do and how I do and everything
Yep.
like that. And I had to do that. I did that. I got some people, some social media people, some camera people, and we got a house and we had a whole setup and everything. And the day that I was supposed to do it, like it was like I can't move. Like what are you doing? Because it wasn't the people, but it was the fact that I knew that where those videos were going to go after. Right? I'm in a small room. It's me and my wife, and two photographers, right? That isn't the fear piece. The fear is I know when this recording is done, they're going to edit it and that thing is going to be blasted out to everywhere. And that was rough.
And it sounds like, finish the story for me, but I believe
I did
the
it.
second
Yes.
you did do
Yes.
it. Yeah. So
I
you
did
did
it,
you
and
did step through
I
to
did step
courage.
through, yes,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
running on Facebook, and I've gotten good feedback and all those things, but
Yeah.
like there's something about, like we said, stepping out of fear into courage that was just a little debilitating in the moment, I would say.
I really want to celebrate you that you did step through on that day. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I've come to it's interesting because I think Eric was talking about fear and non-existent and stuff, and I can't remember what it was talking, but to me, fear is an indicator of something that I have to do. It's not actually an indicator to stop, right? It means if I'm scared of it, there's something on the other side of that I'm supposed to get to. And so oftentimes when something scares me, I say yes.
That's powerful. That's a super power. Like that you're developing that is almost like a compass.
I'm trying to do it. Yeah, I'm trying to get there. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
you gave an example today. You gave an
right.
example today. You felt fear about those videos and you did it. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You
A
so
question
Yeah.
to Dom. What um what happened in the transition from the fear to courage? Like, did you consciously let go of something, or did you consciously put your mind on something
Yeah, so
different
I'm
to shift?
I'm on a very deep spiritual walk in my life right now. And I believe that where praise and prayer exist, fear cannot. Right? You can't praise the Lord and pray and be scared. Right? Those two things are counterproductive. So in last week's call, Chris asked me, well, what did I do when I was scared in the middle of China and thought, what's going on? I prayed. It's the same thing in these situations. When I feel that heart start to race or I feel that thing, it's like, all right, let me start praising, let me start praying, let me find a way to find, God in those moments.
So on that day, Dom, with the videos, how did that show up?
My wife prayed for me. Right, I'll go to my wife and just say, hey, I need prayer right now. Right, there's just, because sometimes praying for yourself is one thing, but sometimes you need that help. And so when I'm walking through something and it's like, hey, I really need that help, I go to my wife and she's that source and she'll pray for me and pray over me.
Dom, maybe we stay hyper focused on that particular day.
Yep.
So on that particular day, you knew that you needed a little bit of help,
Yep.
and sorry, correct me if I'm
Yep. So yeah,
getting
I'll
this
walk you
wrong.
through it.
So
I'll walk you through it. Yep.
you knew you're struggling.
Yep.
You went to your wife and
We were
asked for the help that you needed in that moment.
Yeah, we were in the changing. We were in one of the bedrooms changing, literally getting
Yeah.
ready to go out and do. And I have a script that I have to memorize and speak, and that's a whole nother, a whole nother thing. And so, yeah, we're in the changing room, and I felt like that, that fear start to come about me, and I just went to her and I held her hand and said, I'm getting nervous. I'm feeling a little scared right now. Can you pray for me? And we just took a moment in that bedroom, and she prayed, and I walked out with that covering over me, and went through the experience.
That's a beautiful story, Dom. Thank you. I'm touched because to me, it's on multiple levels. There's the prayer aspect, but I'm also seeing a demonstration of a powerful relationship and a deep trust that you can
Yeah,
go to someone. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
it was
Yep,
moving. Yeah,
that's my
thank you.
move. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Tom, I've got a challenge for you.
I know you do. You
Okay.
already gave me a challenge last week.
Yeah. Tell that story. So I don't know how you're going to share these marketing what was created as a result of that moment, but you could say something like, "Hey, just before this moment, I was really scared and my wife prayed for me." But be real. Bring more of who you are.
Are
Uh, yeah, that's my challenge. Tell that story
okay.
the way
That's
you
very
told it.
similar to the challenge you gave me last week. So but it's also part of the fear, right? Of that being the outward, right? We talked about the public
Yep.
facing side, right? And that's it's all encompassing in that, right?
Yep.
Um, so yeah.
And this is sort of like that counterintuitive truth about being seen is when you go very deep, and share these very specific stories with full of details, it ends up reaching a far larger audience.
People can relate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And relate in their own ways. Like, because there's something about okay, so I'm not a terribly spiritual. I'm not a spiritual person at all, and I related to your story because of the relationship. Like that's what connected with me in that moment,
Right.
and and that touched me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Thanks, Tom.
accept. Yeah.
I see
I
you,
was
man. Keep doing the work, man. You
Thank
are
you.
you are you're on your way. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome.
saying, Chris, just with this example,
Kelly,
that
yeah.
part of it is that you, by getting super specific in the way that you look at that situation you were in where fear was present, that by being real with the details, like the discovery is that that actually is deeply connecting and that that is
Mm.
actually the power in the moment that overcomes the fear.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I
No, I think it's
it
interesting.
created like I felt connection with Dom today through that story because he
I
went.
did too.
Yeah,
As it got
yeah,
more specific and as
Right.
it was
exactly.
like, well, what happened? How did you go from that to that? Like, what happened in
Right.
the middle? Like,
Right.
which is in the
Yeah,
narrative of a person's mind. We want to know how to, like, not just the result. The result is what we want. Yes, I could be out in public, but the
The
support to go,
process.
well, how did
yeah,
I get from there to there? And how
yeah.
do I guide myself through that? So it makes me more present to the bigger fear that's going on, one of the bigger fears that's going on for me too. So I think that's good. That just presence, the created this space right now for me to know, oh, there might be a place and time that I could talk about this other thing that really scares me.
Mhm.
Sorry, Kelly. Just I'm going to state this just for clarity because Dom shared his story and he got more specific with his details. You are now inspired to share a story of yours.
Yeah. a deeper story that's
Yeah.
more impossible.
That's how it works. Isn't that cool?
Did you catch
And
that,
also
Dom?
to not
Yeah, I
just to
did
share
catch
it,
that.
yeah, and not just to share it, but to go, oh, could there be something here that might help me evolve through it from fear to courage? Because it's a deeper one.
Yep.
Yeah, and I like to think of that too, if I could jump in, Dom, as it's the relatable effect, meaning you humanize your experience and your story so that others can relate to you versus thinking that you gotta like, say a certain thing or tell a certain story and show up a certain way. And no, like people connect, like Chris said, he connected with you because of how you shared, right, in your story. And I would say I relate to you as well. And I've just met you. Well, I saw you last week.
Last
However,
week,
you and
yeah.
I have just
Yep.
met right now, right? And I'm already connected to you as well. So thank you.
No, thank you guys. That's awesome.
And Shermain, I want to circle back to you. You are on a mission, a grand mission of solving loneliness. And in an earlier call today, we talked about how that is a grounding thing that drives everything and it creates the connection. And like this is how you solve loneliness, right? So by um, uh, I love that we have this example today. And Dom, thank you for being vulnerable and being willing to go there. And Shermain, I want to bring this back to you. Your overall mission is showing up here. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you're saying that. My overall mission is to end loneliness in the world. It's impossible. And
Yeah.
one of the ways that we've done that on this call, at least for me, is being vulnerable and
Yeah.
going deep
Yeah.
and allowing ourselves to be seen in different ways and allowing us to feel connected and a part of and belong. And yes, 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 Chris. That feels good. Feels good to me.
I'm like filled with awe, I don't like I use word magic at times or whatever, but basically, I feel like I witnessed something today really awesome.
Yeah. It feels good. Feels good to be a part of what we're doing.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Oof.
this is cool. You guys giving a platform to people to be able to, because I would have probably never shared that story. Like, I don't think anybody would have even asked you that question. Like, how many times in your world are you asked, what are you afraid of? Or share a fear with me? That's not even, you know what I mean? Like, these aren't conversations that you just have in your natural day, and especially not at work.
Right.
Uh, Thank you. And Dom, you may not be aware, but part of the story of last week was I faced a fear by allowing myself to test this skill that I think I have, which is to go deep, into people's stories. I had never done that before. I didn't know what the results were going to be. So I had to be willing to face my own fear on that call. Like that was real. And my world changed permanently because I realized, oh my God, like I was willing to do it in front of strangers. I was willing to do it live with no net. Um, uh, I faced a fear on that call. Yeah.
And how
Sorry.
did you, so how did you process through that? Not to turn the tables back on you, but I mean, you
Oh,
were
I'm
fearful
a
in your, yeah.
facilitator
How
and
did
participant. Yeah. Yeah. So, sorry, how did I last
Yeah,
week?
so how did you get from that? When did that fear show up, and how did
Yeah.
you get from fear to getting on that call and working?
Yeah. Yeah. So, the fear. So like, as it's been established, we're collaborating on an event that's culminating in Toronto, and then we've created this series of calls. But these specific calls, last week's and this week's, are a product of Shermain's desires. So one, I had to say yes to Shermain. I had to accept his invitation to be part of this. He was going to do it with or without me. So it's like, okay, let's do it together. And then, so I had to say yes. Uh, uh, I had to bring my curiosity, which is that around this idea of what's your story. Like those words actually would have originated from me. Um, uh, uh, and then I had to, and you watched me do it. I had to step through fear I had about being overbearing and
Yeah,
dominant in a conversation in pursuit of a greater goal, right? So
You're almost
and
apologetic.
I was almost apologetic, and again, as I get more practiced at it, but you saw that's because it was messy, and I was working through it in real time, right? So because I had such a deep fear of being seen as whatever those guys that you know how it is. You're sharing something about yourself, and then they make it about them or something, right? And it's like it's like I did not want that, you know. So thank you, Kelly, for your laugh. Yeah. So the uh so there was several moments where I had to be willing to step through the next phase of this and trust myself that this is in service of a greater good. And there's a selfishness within me for that transformation. Like I wanted, like, even though I couldn't speak it or articulate it, I knew if I was willing to, I'm going to come out of this different. I was willing to, I did, and
You
I am
came
now
out of
different.
different.
Yeah.
Good.
Um, and uh, which then, yeah, and then because I knew this topic today was about facing fears and stuff like that, it's like wow, I have like this real example, like very recent. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
wouldn't.
really quite like this process. Like either it just happened or like it could probably be done even in the moment of a story. This like here's the fear and what are your options for transcending it? And in your story, Chris, what I heard was one, your integrity, which you said earlier today, your integrity, I
Mm,
show up because I said I would. I heard the bigger for you, the bigger you may not have faith, but you have faith in the greater good. That is a
mm,
faith. It's not that different than
okay, I
faith in
accept that.
God. I think it's a higher faith than just like, oh, I have to do it all by myself. There's something else higher than you reached into. You trust your curiosity and stories. And I really appreciate this is the part I think that's fresh is saying out loud, this is going to be messy. That's fresh versus a lot of facilitation where we come in with like a prepared story. I'm like, I'm actually going to tell you that this is messy right now, which is, I think, what
Mm.
Shermain was pointing to with Dom's story, like, telling the fresh, authentic, like in this moment, oh, like this is going on right now.
There's
And there's
something
something about that that's like,
it
what?
can't because
You're going to
it
do
can't be
that?
replicated. You only get the fresh that the squeeze the juice. You only get it one time. Like of what you're speaking of. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the very
The
first
the
real in
first
real
you got that
time first
pristine
story.
fruit or whatever, and you get to squeeze it one time because after that it's never
never the same.
it's never the same because you're more comfortable with it. Like Dom, I had people immediately because they saw me do the thing on the other call. They want me to do it for other groups and stuff like that, and I have to be careful about what I say yes to at this point because it'll never be that edgy for me again, and I have to figure out
Right.
how to keep me juiced up. Yeah,
Yeah.
That is your perennial challenge, Chris.
it is. It's hard. It's hard.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
And I did want to say one more thing. So the last one I heard was willingness for transformation. So there's some kind of again to the that's the courage moment where you
mm,
went from like I have all these fears, I'm going to think about it, I could, but in the end you decided you went over with a willingness into the unknown, uh, just for the service of growth. And I think all of those are great additional ways in these moments to find like a new, fresh way to face the impossible where there really is no map. Like it's just going to feel like that. So if you get comfortable that that's what the nervous system is going to do, and you have the self awareness that the body is now like in fear and can even identify that that's happening, suddenly you have a bunch of tools to move through it. That's cool.
thank you, Kelly.
Ooh,
Dom, did you have anything else you wanted to add? I wanted to check in with you. No,
no,
you
I'm
good?
good. Thank
Got
you.
it. Okay. Chris, what's also not lost on me was on our last session there was a cultural piece as well that you were thinking about. I was like, ooh, I don't want to be that guy.
Sure.
And
Yep.
so um would you like to speak a little bit on how you were feeling, like that fear that was present for you?
Well, that's something I live with. Uh, um, I don't want to be part of a narrative of perpetuating harm on people, whether it's indirectly or through privilege or whatever. So I'm hyper aware that I might not even realize how or things get said and um um it's with me, like it's yeah, and you and I spoke about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I want to highlight is even with that,
yeah,
you still were able to stand in your power, and you were able to serve people on the call last week, and do your magic, interrupting people, getting down to their story, to get to that moment, what I call moment of courage, what you call the moment of overcoming, and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
really magical last week.
Thank you, Tremaine. Kelly, I'm connecting it with your piece about faith. Faith in a greater good allowed me to overcome, Charmaine, those fears that I had. That's interesting.
Yeah,
I'm gonna sit with that one.
yeah,
One of the things that I talk about a lot in my social media is faith. One of the
Mm,
things I don't talk about is religion
yep.
because I don't want to alienate people, right? Whatever your faith is your faith. Like I have a lot of friends who are in the, recovery community, right? So it looks a little bit like religion, but not quite religion. That's your faith. That's okay.
Mm,
So I
yep.
think what we're saying here is, like you said, a belief in something higher than yourself, something greater than
Mm,
yourself. That is your faith. It doesn't have to look like mine or Kelly's or Shermain's or Eric's. And
yep.
that's okay.
yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate
yeah.
that.
That
Thanks.
Chris, like, do you have a specific example of the greater good that has guided you in some of these extraordinary?
I think I have a deep belief in humanity, like that we are capable of overcoming. No matter what the current narratives are. You know, uh, uh, I'm a believer in human ingenuity and creating new solutions and innovations and uh, uh, I have a belief that uh, the answers to our current problems will be found in new things. So, but action is needed from people to make that real.
I guess my question is like, where did that come from? Where did that?
Oh, geez, that's a big question.
We might not have to, yeah, not just as an
Yeah,
inquiry, just something to think about. Because in the spirit of
yeah,
this, if there were a
yeah.
specific example of like, what was that story that
Mm.
kicked in this capacity? Because I think there's something important about that to be dealing with impossible problems. That every day
Yeah,
there's a
yeah. Well, this kind of
story.
speaks to
It's
the whole.
impossible. It doesn't exist. People go like that. They
Yeah,
go, it's impossible, and you're like,
yeah,
where does that come from? I believe in the greater good of humanity that we can think our way to the other
yeah.
side. Like I want that story.
Yeah. Yeah, this is my association with the phrase accomplished misfit, right? So like my own relationship with being the outsider amongst outsiders, being the weirdo, and finding success. So because and the success that I've found in life, I had to invent. I couldn't follow someone else's rule book, right? So this is a bigger conversation, but that's my answer for now.
So somehow you had an experience of it. You had but I just don't know if that was for the greater good or not. Like there was the I have to, but somewhere in there, the greater good came into play.
I'm going to, because this is a series of conversations and we have other ones that I'm going to sit with that because me speaking about a belief in a greater good, I think is new. Like I don't know if I've ever actually spoken that before. So yeah, I'm gonna
Fresh.
think about that one. Yeah, yeah.
So when's the next session? Next week again?
Great question. So let's transition right into that. So yes, our next call is next week, which is Monday the 18th, same time, same bat channel, same link. Um, And since we're talking about being real, I think our topic is going to be around being more real. Being more real. Chris, how's that feel for you?
Yeah, I liked it. Being real, being messy.
Yeah.
That was the other language, and then your language, Shermain, was around truth, right? So
Yeah.
your truth, um, and we'll play with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I want to thank everyone for being here, for joining us. And I want to remind each of you that Chris and I are hosting an event in Toronto, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And if you'd like to know more, reach out to either one of us and we will talk to you about what it's about. I think we're pretty much there. Let's check out. Is there a word? Let's check out with a word, any word that's top of mind for you right now and in this moment. Mine will be connection. Mine will be connection.
Mine was the community. I feel like you
Community.
guys are building a community here. Yeah.
Yes, we are. We are. Yes.
I don't know, it's with the phrase willingness to transform. Willingness.
Willingness to transform. Cool. Thanks.
My word is relief. I feel relief.
We did it. Yes.
I'll go with gratitude.
Gratitude.
Shermain.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am grateful that each one of you decided, you chose to be here today, and I hope that you'll join us next week. Thanks, everyone. Chris, you have anything you want to wrap up with?
Uh, I am proud of this group. Everyone was willing to face their fears in their own ways, and I am leaving inspired. That would be another word of mine.
All right. Thank you guys.
See you next
Appreciate you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Yeah.